This one's for you, Harry!
He's going high! He's going low! Son of a bitch!
Here come the cars to the finish line. It's Cole Triple taking the win.
God, don't you just love old Tom Cruise movies? So we are here today to talk about how you can make mucho dinero buying houses in the GTA today, not Tom Cruise. And you can do this simply by following the big boys, using a bit of savviness, and of course, having a great agent with you. And with all the changes happening in the mortgage market today, this strategy is going to have a much bigger impact than you think. And just as a refresher, in my last video, I talked about how new developments are really expensive today because developers are charging future prices. So they're starting homes at $1.5 to $2 million for a product that's not going to be finished until 1 or 2 years later. Because as we all know, land is scarce these days. So developers can pretty much charge whatever they want. And people are going to pay it. Now, I have nothing against new developments, and I think there's actually still some opportunity to make money on new properties because historically these properties have actually done the best when it comes to appreciation. So hence, that's why they attract all these speculators. But as prices keep rising and it becomes harder and harder to get these big, juicy, fat mortgages, you really have to start asking yourself, do I really want to be saddled with all that debt and burden? Maybe you do. I don't know. But I believe the new home market isn't as lucrative as it used to be. And we actually saw this happening in the condo game over the last 5 or 6 years, where buyers, investors, and speculators were not actually making any money at all. In fact, some even lost money in the short term. And while I'm always looking for alpha growth opportunities for my clients and my peeps, what's more important personally speaking for me is looking out for my clients' downside risks, of which there are many in the market today. Sure, I can make more money selling bigger, more expensive houses to my clients, which they can't afford, making them eat mac and cheese for the rest of their lives, but really, that's not how I roll. I think more like a financial advisor than a quote-unquote salesperson. Okay, so to the point of this video. This is you. You are the small little sports car, the young home buyer, full of speed, energy, and sexiness. But because of where you are in your career and the limited amount of time you've had to be able to save up enough money, your funds are naturally limited, of course. And not to mention all the partying. And this is the big, strong, sturdy developer. And now imagine the real estate market is this big race and you're competing against everybody. You're even competing against developers in a way. But what you can do as a strategy is you can mimic them. Because as we all know, developers are the smartest guys in the room. They know about the market and they dictate the prices. Follow in close behind them like this, so you can draft off of them because they're gonna take all the headwinds, okay? And what you can do is buy into the neighborhoods that they are launching new developments in, where the prices are a whole lot higher for the new products. Granted, you won't buy a house as new or potentially as nice as the ones that are being launched today, but you could possibly make those houses as nice through your own touches and renovations. God, I never thought my son's toys would ever come in handy. And in my experience working with these investors, flippers, and speculators, what usually happens is when they've bought off floor plan from the developer and when they eventually get their keys later, they will usually tack on a premium as a profit to make sure that their investment makes sense. So there's actually 2 levels of price increases. There was the one that was done by the developer, and then there was another one done by the property speculator. So what happens with that is it creates a big gap in between the newer product and, the newish and slightly older product in any given area. And that, my friends, is where the arbitrage opportunities lie. And that's where you're going to make your cake. And believe it or not, it's actually not too late to get into the market to take advantage of those types of opportunities. In fact, it's actually in a bit of the earlier stages right now. So aren't you glad you're watching episode number 32 right now? And I'm giving you information and advice that could help you potentially earn hundreds of thousands of dollars? That's worth a lot of money. And I'm not even asking you to pay me. Now, I'm definitely not saying the new home market is done as an investment. There is still some opportunities, and I think that for people who like to buy new properties, there is some room there. But be very careful of the price point and what you're actually getting for that money. And I can predict that the new properties may actually potentially face some headwinds in the future once properties get to a certain price point. What that price point is, I can't say for sure, but I have some ideas. So I say shift your funds to something a little bit less risky that you can control. And don't take a mortgage that's too big and you may not be able to afford in a couple of years. So instead, you've got a decent home, you can still take fancy vacations, and you don't have to force your kids to recycle their Halloween costumes for another 4 more years. So if you're in the market and looking for a house the rest of 2016 or even into 2017 in the GTA, and your budget range is around $500,000 to $750,000, I'd like to hear from you. And I would encourage you to think a little bit different outside of the box and stay away from the herd of investors, because you could potentially make as much as the new properties make, or maybe even on a higher ROI percentage, but not have to deal with the risks of another $500,000 or $1 million on your mortgage. Real estate drafting, in my opinion, is a safer, less risky approach, especially for young and first-time home buyers. And we've been using it with our clients for great success for many, many years. And they're still banking it today. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it might take some sacrifices. You know, the name of the game is delayed gratification. So that means you may have to sacrifice a little bit right now so that you can eventually get whatever it is that you want in the future. Or maybe you won't even need it because you enjoy your lifestyle so much. But I promise you the long-term gains will far outweigh the short-term pains. We're playing the long game, right? So give me a call and I'll set you up on a wicked path to real estate growth and hopefully ultimate financial freedom, because that's what we're all looking for, right? Well, thanks again for watching, guys, and I hope you have a great weekend. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and comment on the videos, or call, email, or text me directly if you've got your own personal questions about this video or anything to do with real estate in Toronto. So we'll see you in the next one. Thanks again. Take care. Bye for now. Those were the days, weren't they? Tom and Nicole.
I thought you weren't gonna
You have a
watch.
name?
I lied.
I know there was Tomcat with Katie Holmes. I don't think Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman had a name.